All right, we are here at the Simply Sense Candle Company in the heart of 3rd Ward off Alameda and South Ward, and I'm with the CEO, Shanquita Shan Greggs.
Yes.
Thanks for having us this morning.
No, thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk about your story because I feel like it's so inspirational to anyone who ever had a dream of working for themselves, doing something they love and being successful at it, but it's not an easy proposition, and it wasn't easy for you to get here. I mean, you had a whole different career. You were an Air Force.
Yeah, I was in the Air Force for 8 years, so I'm a United States veteran. And after that, I worked at the post office. I've done a lot of things though, and I was a flight attendant for United Airlines during the 9/11 crisis too.
And so that was kind of a catalyst for you needing to find something else to do because you lost your job.
Right, I lost my job several times, but I loved that job. I got to travel the world, you know, just kind of live out some dreams and things that I personally wanted to do at that time. So it was a little tough after getting laid off 2 or 3 times. I was like, Lord, I need to find something else to do because this is it's not working the way I thought it would work. So that's how the candle Simply Sense came about.
Had you been, messing around with candles as a, youngster? Like, has it just been so? How did you get into candles specifically?
Well, I always loved candles. I used to get in trouble all the time for leaving candles burning when I was away, when I was asleep. I used to get this fussed at about candles. I had no idea about, having a candle company, but I always knew I had some entrepreneur spirit in me because I always liked being independent. I always liked doing things. I've always sold things. I've always made things. So I've always been very creative also and very smart. So this is just kind of like the icing on the cake. I was like, oh Lord, I see how you used all of those things to build me for the career that I have now. So candles wasn't planned. It just kind of happened, so I was in the process of being laid off. I was watching a Martha Stewart taping and she was talking about candle making for the holidays. And I was like, maybe I can make some candles for the holidays since I won't have any money, to buy, so I can just give them out to my family and friends for Christmas. And it's kind of how it started. I made some candles, gave them out. My mom worked at the post office at the time. She's retired now. So they buy anything at the post office. So I was like, here, take these to work and sell them. So by that time, they called me back to fly again too. So I was back being a flight attendant. I was based in Chicago. So people would call me back and it was like, hey, do you have any more of those candles? And I think from that moment on, that's how Simply Sense got started.
You were selling them out of your car, going to place to place.
Yep. So after that, they laid me off again. And then I kind of like dove into the candle making process. It just kind of took me away. I became so passionate about it. It's all that I wanted to do. So I would make candles and I would put them in my trunk and I would go to every beauty shop, barber shop, and I would just sell them, and give them away. If I see you have a friendly smile, I'd be like, hey, how you doing? You like candles? And just give it away. And to this day, those are still my customers to this day. So just 1 week at a time, 1 candle at a time, over 15 years. Has brought us to this place.
And let's just back up and show this place a little bit because it's a beautiful storefront.
Thank you.
And it's okay. Showing all your different products, oils and bath products. And talk to us about how we ended up here. How did you end up here?
Well, so let's see. I'm sorry. Can I just sit this way?
Yeah, go for it.
So after, I sold candles in my trunk for 3 or 4 years. I made candles in my grandmother's kitchen. Then she moved me to the garage. And after that, I just couldn't reach everybody. I started to miss money because I couldn't get to everyone that wanted the candles. So I had a very small location off of Dowling, right across from the old Drexler's. I was there for a year. We grew out of that. Then I was on OST and Scott for 6.5 years. And now I've been here for 5 years. And then we have another location in Crosby also.
So you were able to expand?
Yes, we're able to expand. Now we're looking to head to Pearlands for our new location too.
Wow.
Maybe hopefully in the middle part of 2018.
So in the process of starting from selling out the back of your car to getting your own storefronts, in between there, you were able to land a major contract with a drugstore chain. I mean, when that happened, what went through your head?
I was so excited. I'm still excited to this day to be able to say that we were in Walgreens for 6 years, which was a major accomplishment. We accomplished a lot. It just kind of ended up on a whim. One of the district managers came in and said, hey, we'd like to give you a try at one store. I started off with one store. Well, we started off with one store, ended up with 25 just from the numbers, just from the movements, because if you're not moving units in Walgreens, you're not going to be there. They're not going to waste time with you. So we went from moving 1 to 2 units a week to 60 units a week. So we were there for 6 years. We were able to expand on our brand. We were able to have, it was just more convenient for our customers, because some customers, they live on the north side, so they didn't want to drive way over here. So it was very convenient for the customers, as well as being associated with a big name brand, to have recognition for our company as well.
What's your biggest piece of advice for people who want to go out on their own, or are forced to come up with a new game plan in life unexpectedly, like you?
Make sure it's something that you love, because you're going to have to do it all the time. Whatever you decide to do, whatever you decide to make your career and your goal, make sure you're passionate about it, because you have to be there even when the money's not there, even when the customer's not there. Just being consistent. And I think that passion is what keeps you going, because you love what you do, versus I'm just here for the money, or I'm just here for the recognition.